It's Taco Tuesday!
Yo, what's going on everyone? Taco here, and today's video should be an absolute banger. I am super bullish on this upcoming NFT collection, and it actually mints tomorrow. So I want to make sure I get you guys as much info as possible so you can decide whether or not you want to invest into this project and brand. Now, if you're new to the channel, I upload here every single Tuesday, but we'll also be uploading 1 or 2 other videos throughout the week, just depending on the craziness of the market and the upcoming projects that are coming out. As always, this video is not financial advice by any means. Please do your own research before investing or looking into any of these projects. And if you enjoyed today's video, please do hammer that like button and subscribe to help grow this channel, and comment down below if you have any projects that are upcoming or that just came out that you want me to talk about. And if you do have any additional questions or comments that I don't cover in this video, please leave those down in the comments as well. In today's video, I'll be covering the NFT collection Azuki. Now, if you're in the NFT space, I'm sure you've heard about Azuki at some point. The hype is real right now. I know a lot of influencers in the space and content creators have covered or talked about Azuki at some point, but being just 1 day away from mint, the hype is just unreal right now. And I think it's for a lot of different reasons, but the one that jumps out to me when I'm looking at NFT projects is how unique is it, and does it stand apart from the others and from just the roadmap, the utility, the entire culture around Azuki? That answer is yes, but I think right away it passes the eye test in terms of art. I think right now we're in a very heavily saturated cute PFP meta for NFT collections and what's popping off, and I think this more anime inspired or anime style for NFTs is a gap in the market that I think Azuki is really gonna fill. I mean, the art here just looks incredible. Look at all the details. You've even got the red bean on the sneakers, but this art really reminds me of like Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, if you've seen those animes. And then also, if you've just played Valorant, the Valorant cinematics to me also kind of give off this same feel. So heading on over to Azuki's Twitter, they have about 78,000 followers, which you love to see. And in terms of engagement, the engagement on all of their tweets is really good, which whenever you're looking at socials, followers is not always the best metric. Engagement, replies, are people excited about these tweets and what's going on is something that you really want to look into. Now, for teasers, here's just a few more teasers that we've seen in terms of the art and the collection itself. So we've got some, elemental abilities here, maybe some Demon Slayer inspired. And then we've even got a little bit of animation here, though I am sure that these are static PFPs. So just to give you guys a couple more teasers, some of the ones that were my favorite when I came across Azuki or from what they've teased so far. And like I said, it really has that elemental, fire, water, maybe even lightning brought into this anime style, which just gives it such a cool and clean look. So I think another thing when you're looking into projects is, do they have some kind of culture or lore? And I think this is just for brands in general, but really in NFTs, I think it's something that's beginning to grow, and something that's important for a strong community is that sense of lore. So these are going to be 4 of the main characters from my understanding of Azuki. I'll go through them each quickly here, but I mean, just looking at the details, these are just so awesome. I think Zero is my favorite one with the cigarette and the fire. Once again, we have that lightning, that elemental aspect, but these are just super awesome to me. So, and I'm going to mess this up throughout the video, but Azuki is not a project. This is emphasized that Azuki is a brand, and their goal is to be the biggest brand for the metaverse by the community. So really that sense of community ownership. It's a collection of 10,000 PFPs, and some of the highlights here, at least in the physical aspect, are going to be exclusive streetwear collabs, NFT drops, live events, and much more that will be revealed over time. I'll discuss this a little bit more in the mind map, but I mean, Azuki, just the look of it with a streetwear collab, it just makes so much sense to me. Obviously, NFT drops and live events are great additions as well. Let's take a look at the team, because having a docs team and a team with experience and professionalism is always important. So Zagabond is going to be one of the founders of this project. I followed him on Twitter for a few weeks now, and he is super bullish on Web3 and the metaverse. A lot of his tweets are around decentralization and really that idea of, community ownership and governance. Who is the artist? And this is always going to be super important. We have Steam Boy, who also goes by Arnold. Now, he was actually or is a character art director for Blizzard's Overwatch. So in terms of, resume and professionalism, that right there is incredible. That's an incredible role. So based off the teasers, based off Arnold's experience, I think we're in really great hands. Now, an element of the team that I think really gets overshadowed in a lot of these projects, we focus on the founders and the creative, but the engineers here being 2PM Flow and Location. These two have come up with something that I think is extremely impressive, and that's going to be ERC721A, which is basically, in short, giving you significant gas savings when you're minting multiple NFTs in a single transaction. So if you go to their website, they have the whole breakdown and the context and how it was done here, even the cost savings and whatnot in terms of gas. But you're already seeing a team that is focused and concerned about the community, making a very efficient and cost-friendly contract. So you love to see it. Next, I'm going to take you guys through their mind map, which is essentially Azuki's roadmap and their utility, at least in the future. And I think the idea here and why it's called a mind map is because they want it to be a lot more fluid, giving a lot of governance and ideas for the future into the hands and power of the community, which I think is very key. Like I said, they want to be a decentralized brand that is built and owned by the community. Next, I'm going to take you guys through Azuki's mind map, which is really their version of a roadmap in their future utility. And I think why they went with a mind map here is just to be a lot more fluid and not have concrete plans on what they're going to do. And I think really this is built on their idea of creating the largest decentralized brand for the metaverse that is built and owned by the community. So the community having a lot of governance and control and power in terms of the future for this project. Something that they harp on heavily is being skaters of the internet, meaning that they're not afraid to push the boundaries or challenge the status quo. And I really like this idea because I think in the NFT space right now, there is a lot of copycats, derivatives, and just people kind of following what is popular and hot right now. And as I mentioned earlier on, Azuki is taking a very unique approach. And so by honing in on that, I really look forward to what is to come. Now, some of the teasers, at least in terms of the metaverse and where we're heading, they're talking about, 3D having land in maybe Sandbox, Decentraland, Crypto Voxels, NFT land, a game, and they even admit that a game is a huge commitment. So if they're gonna do it, they really want to do it right. And then digital drip, which if we're in the metaverse, everyone's going to want to be dripped out. So the fact that they have that in mind is awesome to see. They talk about some meta games here and really having an interactive brand, thinking about, an RPG or anime game where, you own your character and you're helping build up the Azuki brand. And then lastly, partnerships is a huge thing that's already in progress. They play with the idea of having a native currency to the Azuki verse or Azuki universe, being Bean, and then obviously talking about a DAO, which I really think DAOs should just be, a norm or universal for almost every collection and project that's out there at this point. With all these projects, we're always harping about community. So I've been in the Azuki server for at least 2 to 3 weeks now. I've been fairly active, just depending on my time. But I've really got a good sense of just this community overall. Obviously that will change once everyone has minted and we see, who are the holders and who bows out because they weren't able to get one. But for the most part, the vibe from this server and just from this community overall, even on Twitter, has just been extremely supportive, and there's just so many awesome creatives in here. Now, they even have a hall of art or an art section where people are constantly posting, fan art, different merch collabs. I mean, you will see just the craziest stuff in here. I will say for Azuki, some of the art from the community, both in here and on Twitter, has absolutely blown me away. So it really gives you a good sense of just how hyped people are, and I think that's very important. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, this project is minting tomorrow. That's Wednesday, January 12th. And on their website, azuki.com/mint, you'll find all of the mint information because they actually are doing a phased approach, which I think is fairly unique. And that will start off with a Dutch auction that will be for 8,800. So there's going to be 1,200 mintless spots. Obviously, being a day out, a lot of those have already taken, but I believe there still is a chance for you to make mintless, whether it's through creative or just being, active and engaging in the community. But for the Dutch auction, it will be for the 8,800, and it's going to be starting at a price of 1 ETH. Every 20 minutes, it's going to lower by 0.05. Now, each wallet will be able to mint up to 5 Azukis. For the mint list, they will be only able to get 1 each. And if you are lucky enough to be on the mint list, it's going to be the following day. You'll have 48 hours to mint, which is really awesome just with how crazy gas is right now. And whatever the last sale was in the Dutch auction, mintless will be able to mint for half of that price. So really a great way to reward those who have put in the time and effort into the community. They talk about a third public phase here, but like I said, this project is so hyped up. I know a lot of people want to be involved with Azuki. I don't see it getting to a public phase, in my opinion. That's going to just about wrap it up on this video. Like I said, I'm super bullish on Azuki as a brand. I really like how they're zigging while others are zagging and taking their own unique direction. So if you guys have any other additional information or questions about Azuki before tomorrow, make sure you drop them down in the comments below. And if you've known about Azuki, maybe you're on the mint list or maybe you're looking to get one in the Dutch auction, let me know down in the description below how hype you are. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to help grow the channel. And until next time, I'm out.